The last year and change felt like I'd been running on fumes, chasing a mirage I somehow convinced myself was real. I'm 24, and yeah, I got played like a damn fiddle. This isn't some sob story, just the facts. My girlfriend, Emily, decided her calling was TikTok. That meant I was suddenly working two full-time jobs and trying to finish school, just to keep our heads above water. It's a mess, but it's my mess, and I'm about done cleaning up someone else's. When I met Emily a little over a year ago, she was a single mom with a 5-year-old daughter. Mia, I'd never been married, never had kids, and honestly, dating a single mom wasn't on my radar. My life was school and work, building something for myself. But Emily, men anticanos, she had this way about her. She was charming, attentive, made me feel like I was the only guy in the world, said all the right things. I know now it was a performance, a damn good one. Back then, I just thought we clicked. I genuinely cared for both her and Mia. I was a dumbass. I get it, from the jump. I told her I wasn't interested in marriage. Been there, done that. She said, already divorced. Didn't want to go through that again. Sounded legit, right? We were on the same page. Or so I thought. We agreed. No marriage. This was important to me. I had plans, a future I was mapping out, and settling down wasn't part of the immediate blueprint. I was living with a roommate back then, splitting everything down the middle. It was easy. Then my roommate got a job out of state, moved out. Emily brought up the idea of moving in together. Made sense financially, she said, and we were spending a lot of time together anyway. Seemed logical at the time. I was caught up in the romance of it all. The idea of building a life with someone. We hadn't even been together a year, and I had her move in. What the hell was I thinking? I guarantee she planted that seed in my head, watered it, and watched it grow. I was so convinced I knew her, but I didn't know shit. We agreed to split the bills 50-50, and for a couple of months, it worked, or at least, it appeared to. Then the cracks started showing. Subtle at first, little comments. Mia needs a sibling. I want to have more kids. And the real kicker, we should get married. This was coming from the same woman who'd told me she never wanted to get married again. It started right after we went to her friend's wedding. She even offered to help pay for ours if we had one. What a joke. I didn't want to dismiss her feelings, so I told her I understood, but I still didn't want to get married. She got upset, went to bed without another word, and from that night on, things shifted. She became cold, distant, borderline rude. It was a calculated move. I see that now. Punishment. Okay. I'm not getting what I want, so I'm going to make him miserable. I felt the chill in the air, the constant tension. My stomach was always in knots. It really made me start questioning everything. Is this what the rest of my life was going to look like? Walking on eggshells, trying to decipher her moods. Then, out of nowhere, she quit her job. Just like that. No warning, no discussion. I asked her why. She said she wasn't feeling it anymore. Wanted to do something else. Very Gen Z, I guess. My first thought was, what about the bills? What about Mia? But I tried to be supportive. Figured she'd be job hunting. Assumed wrong. Weeks went by. She wasn't applying for anything. Instead, she was hanging out with her friends almost every day and talking about becoming a TikToker. I told her I didn't have a problem with her chasing a dream, but she needed to get at least a part-time job to help with the bills. She swore she was looking, but it's been 3 months now. 3 months, and she hasn't worked a single day. Shocker. She knew I wouldn't kick her out. She knew I didn't have the backbone, or so she thought. Anytime I brought it up, she'd get defensive. Start an argument? Why are you being so controlling? I can have male friends. You're supposed to support me, not judge me. You're making me feel unsafe right now. The classic lines. It got so exhausting, I just stopped asking. The fight wasn't worth it. She was using me. Plain and simple. How the hell did I not see it sooner? Now, I'm working 2 full-time jobs. Still trying to get through school. Just trying to keep us afloat. Rent, groceries, every damn bill is on me. I'm drained. Stressed out of my mind. My sleep is shot. Always waking up with that knot in my stomach. My work performance. I know it's slipping, and yeah, I'm starting to feel taken advantage of. Bro, I was being taken for a ride. She bait and switched me with that I don't want to get married crap. She manipulated me into letting her move in. I was so caught up in the idea of consistent sex. The convenience of it all. What a fool. Now I'm screwing up my education, my future, to pay for her and her kid. That's her responsibility, not mine. I care about her, and I care about Mia. That's the truth. But this isn't what I signed up for. I didn't agree to be a husband. a stepfather, or a sole provider, especially not when we had a clear agreement, a mutual understanding from the beginning. No, I had an agreement. She had a whole different plan, a different agenda. The question now is, how the hell do I ask her to move out without it blowing up into a full-blown war? Because I know it will. There's a kid involved, which complicates things even more. I need a firm, respectful way to draw this boundary, but I'm under no illusion that it'll be drama-free. This isn't going to be a walk in the park. She's going to cry, scream, biggie, whatever she needs to do, and I better have a witness, or be recording it if my state allows, because she's banking on me being her caretaker, and she's not going to give that up easily. I don't know if she's on the lease. If it's just my name, then legally, I have more leverage. But even so, it's going to be a nightmare. I've talked to a buddy of mine, Jake, about it. He's been through something similar. He just shook his head when I laid it all out. Dude, he said, she's already shown you who she is. Believe her. He told me to cut off all intimacy immediately. She's 100% going to try to baby trap you. He warned, don't believe her about birth control. Just don't sleep with her. Period. He's right. That's a risk I can't afford to take. Another friend, Mark, said, there's no ultimatum here. Man, she just has to move out. Job or no job. She's disrespected every boundary you set. Your education, your future. It's all on the line. It sucks for Mia to have a mom like this, but it's not your problem. That hit home. It's not my problem. It can't be my problem anymore. This whole thing has taken a toll on me. Physically, mentally, my sleep is shot. My appetite is non-existent. I'm constantly tense. My jaw tight. I just want my damn life back. I want to focus on school, on my career, not on supporting someone else's TikTok dreams and their kid. I've been thinking about what Jake and Mark said. They're right. This isn't a negotiation. It's a statement. She needs to go. I need to figure out the legal steps to evict her if she won't leave willingly. Every state is different, and I don't want to screw this up. I'm going to talk to a lawyer, just to be safe, get my ducks in a row. The thought of the confrontation, the inevitable fireworks, makes my stomach churn. She's going to play the victim. I know it. Cry about Mia, about how I'm abandoning them, and I guarantee some of my friends and even family members are going to fall for it. Oh, that kid needs a daddy. They'll say, you're so good with Mia. If anyone tells me that crap, they're getting cut off. This isn't about Mia. It's about Emily's refusal to be a responsible adult. Mia has a father, I assume. From the previous marriage, she glossed over. He can provide for his kid. It's not my problem. This whole experience has been a harsh lesson. Don't get involved with single moms unless you're ready for a whole different ballgame. Don't let your girlfriend move in unless you're planning on marrying her. And even then, be damn careful. And never, ever believe a girl when she says she never wants to get married, especially if she's a single mom. They need a provider. Plain and simple, I'm done being the nice guy who gets walked all over. I'm done being the unwitting ATM. This isn't going to be easy, but I'm doing it. I have to, for my future, for my sanity. And yeah, there's going to be drama. Who cares? This is about self-preservation. This is about taking my life back. And when it's all over, I'll learn from this, harden up a bit, and move on. This time, I'll trust my gut, not her charm. I stood at the precipice of a battle I knew would be filled with tears, accusations, and theatrics, but this time, I was ready. No longer the starry-eyed fool who believed in empty promises. The feeling of being used, of being taken for granted, had burned away any lingering softness in me. I had to do this, not just for my money or my time, but for my self-respect. The next morning, I woke up before Emily. The heavy atmosphere in the apartment still weighed on me. I scrolled through my phone, looking up local laws, especially tenancy and eviction laws. Every state is different, and I needed to know exactly what I was up against. Jake was right. I needed a plan. I couldn't let her control this game anymore. When Emily woke up, she maintained her usual cold indifference. Not a greeting, not even a glance. That was her way of punishing me for not understanding her. Now I saw through the act. She wanted me to feel guilty, wanted me to concede. But that guilt had dried up. In its place was a cold resolve. I decided not to talk in the morning. I needed time to gather my thoughts and find a witness. I called my older sister, Sarah. Sarah is a few years older than me, divorced with 2 small kids. She's a practical woman, no nonsense, and always says it like it is. She was the only person I trusted to stay calm and not be manipulated by Emily. When I explained everything to her over the phone, Sarah just sighed. You know, I hate to say this. Little brother, she said, her voice laced with disappointment. but you dug your own hole. Now you gotta climb out. She agreed to come over that weekend to witness the conversation. That was a load off my chest. At least I wouldn't face this storm alone. The following days were a torment. I worked hard at both jobs, trying to keep my mind busy so I wouldn't dwell on the mess at home. Emily continued her TikToker life, which meant glued to her phone, shooting silly videos and giggling with online friends. She never asked about money, about me carrying everything. Her irresponsibility boiled my blood, but I held it in. The time wasn't right yet. By the weekend, Sarah arrived. I explained the whole story to her again, emphasizing the initial agreements, Emily's change in attitude, and the financial burden I was under. Sarah listened intently, nodding occasionally, and never interrupting me. All right, so what's your plan? She asked when I finished. I'm going to tell her that this relationship isn't working for me anymore and she needs to move out. I said, I'll give her a reasonable deadline, and if she doesn't agree, I'll look into the legal procedures to evict her. Saturday afternoon, I decided to confront her. Emily was sitting on the sofa, glued to her phone as usual. I took a deep breath. Sarah sat in an armchair opposite, arms crossed. Her mere presence was enough to make Emily look up, a flicker of annoyance in her eyes. Emily, we need to talk, I began, my voice sounding firmer than I expected. She raised an eyebrow. What's so important that you can't say it to me privately? Her eyes flickered towards Sarah. This concerns both of us, I said, trying to stay calm. And this is an important conversation. Fine, she said, turning off her phone, but maintaining her indifferent posture. I got straight to the point. Emily, I can't continue this relationship anymore. Immediately, her face shifted, from indifference to shock, then anger. What the hell are you talking about? I made it clear from the beginning that I didn't want to get married. You said you felt the same way. I continued, trying not to let her interrupt. We agreed to split the bills 50-50, but now I'm carrying everything. I'm working 2 full-time jobs and still going to school to cover all of it. You quit your job 3 months ago without any plan, and you haven't helped financially. This is not what I agreed to. Are you criticizing me? She snapped back, her voice rising. Are you judging me? I'm pursuing my dreams. You said you'd support me. Support doesn't mean I'll pay all the bills while you do nothing, I said, my voice starting to get sharper. I didn't agree to be the sole provider for you and your daughter. That's not my role. So this is why you brought this bitch here, she snarled, glaring at Sarah. For what? To witness your cowardice. Sarah said nothing, just looked directly at Emily, her gaze steady. This is my apartment. Emily, I said, I can't continue living like this. I need you to move out. Silence hung in the room for a moment. Then, as expected, she started to cry, not quiet tears, but loud, fake sobs. You can't do this to me. Where am I supposed to go? What will Mia think? You're throwing us out. You have family, Emily, I said. Mia has a father. You can stay with them. This is not my problem. You're trying to make me homeless. She shrieked, tears streaming down her face. You're an asshole. You know what I've been through. You're making me feel unsafe right now. I'd heard those lines too many times. Making me feel unsafe was her latest weapon to manipulate me. But it didn't work anymore. I'm protecting myself. Emily, I said, I can't continue to be taken advantage of like this. I'm giving you 2 weeks to find a new place and move your belongings. 2 weeks, she gasped, her voice full of indignation. Are you crazy? I can't do that in 2 weeks. You're trying to ruin my life. That's the time I can give you, I said, my voice sounding tired but firm. If you don't move out after 2 weeks, I will begin legal proceedings to have you removed. Her face hardened. The tears vanished. In their place was pure hatred. Fine, she said, her voice ice cold. You'll regret this. You'll never find anyone better than me. Enjoy your lonely life. Then she stood up, stormed into the bedroom, and slammed the door shut. The sound echoed through the apartment. Sarah sighed. There's going to be a lot of drama, little brother, she said. But you did the right thing. I nodded. I knew there would be drama. I could feel the storm coming. But at least, this time, I wouldn't be alone, and I wouldn't let her drag me down with her. In the following days, Emily refused to speak to me, except for sarcastic remarks or muttered insults. She started spending more time out, probably looking for somewhere to go, or perhaps just trying to avoid me. My apartment became a cold, hostile battleground, filled with simmering resentment. Every time I came home, I felt stressed, but I tried to focus on my studies and work, seeing them as a refuge from this mess. I also started preparing myself to contact Mia's father. I knew it wasn't my responsibility, but Mia was a sweet kid. and I didn't want to see her suffer because of her mother's selfish actions. Maybe he'd be more invested than Emily had been. 2 weeks passed surprisingly quickly. On the morning of the last day, I woke up early. Emily hadn't moved out any of her things. I knocked on her bedroom door. "Emily, today's the last day," I said through the door. "I gave you 2 weeks. I hope you found a new place." No answer. I knew she was in there. "If you don't move out, I'll have no choice but to start legal proceedings to evict you," I added. Still no sound. I went to work with a knot in my stomach. I knew I'd have to act. I'd done my research. And in my state, the eviction process could take weeks, even months. It would be a drawn-out battle. But I was ready. I made a mistake letting her into my life. And now, I had to pay the price. But this would be the last time. When I got home that evening, Emily's bedroom door was wide open. No one was there. I stepped inside. The closet was empty. Her and Mia's few belongings were gone too. On the bed, there was a folded piece of paper. I picked it up. It was a short, scrawled note. "You'll regret this. You'll never find anyone better than me. Enjoy your lonely life. No goodbye. No apology. Just resentment." I read the note over and over. A bitter smile crept onto my face. She was gone. No dramatics. No argument. At least not in the way I'd expected. She had avoided the final confrontation, choosing to leave in hostile silence. I didn't know where she went, or who helped her move. But it didn't matter. She was gone. My apartment suddenly felt strangely large and empty. Silence enveloped me. No more loud tick-tocks. No more Mia running around. No more constant tension. I sat down on the sofa, feeling exhausted. The pressure that had been on my shoulders for months suddenly vanished. My shoulders slumped, and I took a deep breath, exhaling all the accumulated stress. It was a victory, but it wasn't sweet. I had lost time, lost money, and lost a piece of my faith in people. But I had also learned a valuable lesson. I had learned to recognize red flags, to trust my gut instinct, and most importantly, to set boundaries for myself. I had made mistakes, a lot of them, but I had come out of it, and I had taken my life back. The road ahead won't be easy. I still have to juggle 2 jobs in school, but now I'm doing it for myself, not for anyone else. I've learned that sometimes protecting yourself is the most important thing, and I'll never forget that lesson.